love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru. 18-14 Fresno State on top of Wyoming from here in Laramie with 7:06 to play in the first half. Larry Nance Jr. 3 of 4 from the field, 6 points. But how about his defense? He can be a disruptor, Dave.
He contributed at both ends of the floor. In the conference stats, he's 4th in blocks at 2.5 a ball game, and at almost 2 steals a game. He's 6th to steals. You think a guard stealing the ball, but here you got a 6'9" player with active hands. He changes the game at both ends of the floor. And for young players out there, what that means is even when your offense isn't going good, you can help your team because you do it at the defensive end.
6 points, as I mentioned, for Nance, but also that block and a steal in his 13 minutes. 7 minutes to play in the first half. Glad to have you with us from Laramie, along with Dave Bullwinkle. I'm Mark Neely. Fresno State winners of 5 in a row in conference play. First time they've won 5 in a row in conference.
Seems they're in another conference.
Since they were in, 1994. 3 is missed, and underneath that foul is going to go against Alex Davis. That will be his first.
The good thing is that the foul took place. The other good thing is that Derek Cook, who got fouled, it's only the 16th foul, so he doesn't have to shoot a free throw because he shoots 44% at the line.
Here comes Alan Huddleston. Fresno State.
In the zone, on the baseline out of bounds play, they like to play a lot of zone, and sometimes when that pass goes to the corner, you can look for Fresno State to trap it in the corner.
Adams kicks it off Graybo, and now the jumper from the free throw line for Larry Nance. 8 for Nance.
If Nance can consistently make the elbow or deeper jump shot, he'll be a great offensive player. Because we've seen he can dunk around the basket. And he's very good in post moves off of the block.
Dropping a 17-footer there. Just beyond the free throw line.
And he's a relatively young player. He did not start playing start playing basketball until he was in 6th grade. It's not like he picked the game up really young or like his father forced him into it. He sort of took his time. Great father let his son decide what he wanted to do.
Cesar Guerrero hits the first free throw. Here comes Marvell Harris for Fresno State.
But we talked about the woes of Derek Cook at the line. Cesar Guerrero, we would expect Cesar Guerrero to make them because he's 87% at the line. A great free throw shooter.
And second in the conference in free throw percentage.
And here's another press. 1-2-2, 3/4 court zone. Again, kind of a coward's press, not all out right now. Not even looking to trap in the corners here. They're just getting to take a little time off the clock. You would think that maybe what they might want to do, the Bulldogs, is try to speed the Cowboys up.
Right.
But one of the things that Rodney Terry said earlier today was he thought that might play into the hands of the Cowboys because they're a smart passing team.
Well, Cesar Guerrero going for the steal there with a play that knocked it into the backcourt. 14 on the shot clock as Wyoming will inbounds.
You know what sometimes happens? A play like this, the ball gets knocked back there. And it wasn't a steal. It wasn't just a deflection. This has an effect upon the game. This doesn't show up in the box score. But now this team, the Cowboys, have to bring it up from the backcourt in just 14 seconds. Don't have a lot of time to get a good shot off. Hustle plays like Guerrero just made don't show up in the box score, but they help your team win.
He went tumbling to the court. And that's the reason they had to wipe up some of the perspiration from around midcourt. Guerrero's the transfer. Spent a year at Oklahoma State. And he's a Southern California guy.
I've been High School Player of the Year at St. John's Bosco in Southern California.
Nance down the right side of the lane, just floats it up and gets it to fall. Nice little kiss off the glass, and Nance. An impressive first half, 10 points.
Put him on speed dial. Get the ball to him often.
Going the other way on the offensive foul, and Davis on the screen. Now he has 2 fouls.
But that wasn't Davis's fault. Guerrero drove Davis into the foul by starting to dribble drive before the screener was set. I see that happen so often with guards, and you just saw Guerrero tap his chest saying he knew he's the one that's caused his teammate to pick up the foul.
And Davis is a guy who can't afford to give away many fouls like that. He's fouled out of 9 games this season, so he's on the bench with 2.
If he's going to get a foul, he wants to get his money's worth on the
exactly
foul.
Right. Nance stopped at the free throw line by Giddings, and a pass into the corner for Sobey. He's going to shoot over Johnson. A long-range shot really has not been there tonight for Wyoming.
Well, Sobey came into the game 10 for 47 from beyond the arc. If I was Sobey, I wouldn't shoot so many threes.
Wyoming is 0 for 6 in three-point shooting. Nance spots up with a 15-footer from the wing. No question right now, Dave. You're Wyoming. Get the ball in the hands of number 22.
Well, what I'm going to do, Wyoming wants to get the ball in his hands. Conversely, if I'm Rodney Terry, I want to get the ball out of his hands by doubling. You know how to do that? You live in a major metropolitan area. That diamond lane, that high occupancy vehicle lane, we got multiple guys in the car. I'm going to put a lot of guys around Nance right now so he can drive in that diamond lane.
Nice first half for Nance, who really has been handling the bulk of the offense for Wyoming since their long-range shooting has not been effective.
He's been everywhere. He's done inside, outside with the jumper at the elbow. He's shown why he's an all-conference quality player.
You saw Cesar Guerrero, who's a very emotional player. He was getting a little bit heated. I'm not going to say he was yelling at his coach, Rodney Terry, but he was being very emotional, speaking towards his coach, and he saw a few teammates kind of put an arm around him like, hey, relax a little bit here.
And one of the things Rodney's doing is a great job as a coach turning his back to Guerrero being upset. Sometimes as a coach, you just got to have a thick skin and be kind of deaf and dumb and just not pay attention to the guy. And then in the meantime, Byron Jones, one of the assistants, is sliding down to cool Guerrero down.
So we're tied at 20, under 4.5 minutes to play. A spin move by Harris. And here comes Hankerson.
Who blocked it? Who else? Nance. See, they doubled him there. Edo came over that time. They were not doubling big on big before, but they did it that time.
Nance with the jam. Able to slip by. You saw Giddings put a hand down, get a little hand on the ball, and just a momentary juggle, but Nance able to finish. He has 14.
Remember, he had 38 earlier this year against the University of Denver, or Denver University.
So Wyoming with a 2-point lead.
No, Nance with a 2-point lead.
Probably more accurately, their first lead since about 2 minutes into the game, and he travels. So Fresno State turns it over. But right now, it's the Larry Nance show with a dozen points. He has 6 of 7 from the field, and it's Wyoming by 2.
They lived. They lived. They lived.
We lived, thanks to our Subaru.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
DiGiorno or delivery? DiGiorno or delivery? DiGiorno. Taste for yourself why the shortest distance between you and a delicious fresh baked pizza is your oven. 100% real cheese. Amazing toppings. Thankfully, it's not delivery, it's DiGiorno. Nestle, good food, good life.
Under 3.5 to play in the first half from Laramie, and the Pokes lead it by 2. Well, hey, it's never too early to buy your tickets to the 2014 Reese's Mountain West Basketball Championship. Visit the MW.com/2014 for ticket and team hotel information.
And my suggestion, go the week before as well and watch the women play. Put it back-to-back, 10 great days of basketball.
Well, Rodney Terry has seen Cesar Guerrero. This is during the break. Guerrero being very emotional.
Michael Schwartz, the assistant coach there, accompanying him out. And I'll tell you something. This is not, yes, it doesn't happen every night, but it also isn't something that never happens. Guys get upset. Let's hope that they can get him settled down in the locker room. I can see Michael Schwartz is back in the locker room with him and get him to come back and contribute in the second half.
Adams missing from down low. Driving Tyler Johnson. Tip. Nance with a rebound.
Not only does he block shots, he affects shots. Johnson put extra loft on that shot because there was Mr. Nance with the long arm.
Well, offensively for Wyoming, Nance is 6 of 7 from the field. The rest of the team 2 for 16. Shot clock to 10.
So go to Nance.
Turns and shoots from 16. Just a little strong off the back rim. A drought for the Bulldogs. Scoreless in nearly 4 minutes.
Get the ball to Johnson coming off of screens. Johnson's a patient offensive player, but you're your best player. You got to know when you got to take it over.
Harris ran into the defender. Blocking foul is called.
Good call. No question he's moving his feet. Mike Gerentano had that call right on the button.
Second foul on Granberry.
Watch Granberry moving. See? No question he's moving. So we're shooting 1-1. Derek Cook back in. Again, Derek Cook is primarily a defender and a rebounder. They need great defense, fronting the post out of him, and defensive rebounding.
Fresno State, their first field goal in about 5.5 minutes. Bulldogs back up by 1. Hankerson penetrating. Missed the floater from 12.
Edo skying for the rebound, showing why he was an all-state player in Texas. He's got chance. Just one of the many good freshmen for Fresno State.
A crowd of white shirts in there, and then Giddings' elbow came up a little bit high. Picks up the foul. Well, this Saturday, Denver Pioneer basketball returns to Root Sports. It's a Summit League showdown as Denver takes on Omaha at 6 Mountain, 5 Pacific. You're on Root Sports.
I had the opportunity to do Denver, the privilege to do Denver on TV earlier this year when they beat Colorado State. DU's got a very good team. Joe Scott, excellent coach. You know, there's great coaching all up and down the Front Range. Very good coaching, whether it be at Wyoming or all the way to Air Force.
It's in the front end.
Which I say is tantamount to missing 2. You can't miss the front ends. Takes that second opportunity away.
After the 18th foul against Fresno State.
Johnson flying off that screen.
He's open from 18, in and out.
Great screen away from the ball by Giddings to help his teammate get open. He's going to get a ball screen out of this with a C call.
Nance. A minute to play in the first half. Adams. That's a 2-pointer. Wyoming still has not hit a 3, 0 for 6, but maybe that long-range game starting to come a little more into focus for the Pokes.
And good job by Adams getting his body, his hips and shoulders square to the target on his jumper, going straight up and straight down. When you're great athletes, sometimes you tend to drift on your J. He didn't that time.
Johnson, short from 3.
Chance to go for the last shot. Coach Hyatt has a timeout. He could use it or lose it timeout if you want to, and he's going to use it right now.
Well, Fresno State, winners of 5 in a row coming into this game. They were 1-7 to begin conference play, so now they're 6-7. And Wyoming at 7-5, sitting in 4th place in the conference. And of course, handed San Diego State their only conference loss.
I was going to say, a little bit of a surprise team there is Nevada at 7-6. David Carter's done a great job. And if you haven't seen Deontay Burton play, he's a great guard for Nevada. The two teams I think that have been a little bit disappointing are Boise State and Utah State. And with Utah State, some of that's coming into the new league. This is a tough league. You move up from the WAC into this conference. That's a big step up. And as I said, maybe they forgot to buy their big boy pants.
Have to find those fast. They did so on the football side coming into the conference, but on the hoop side, still a bit of a learning curve coming into the Mountain West.
The other thing, I'm a big believer in the problem of distractions. And the Jared Shaw thing with the accusation on the drug stuff, and he was away from the team for 5 games. Do you have him? Don't you have him? Now he's back playing. He's a very, very good player.
So Wyoming can hold it here for the final shot. They lead it by 1. After trailing by as many as 6 in this first half.
With the team they have on the floor right now, good move by Rodney Terry going to the zone, because you know that Larry Shia was drawn for man-to-man play. But I like to see him play inside out between Nance and Graybo. So Nance or Graybo gets the shot.
Nance, tough shot, and he's fouled. With 2.3 seconds left, Edo commits the foul. Might have bailed him out. This was going to be a tough shot.
He got him on the forearm.
Yep.
No question. Right on the arm. See, you can't make the fingers can't come through the ball. He couldn't get the follow through on the jump hook because he got hit on the forearm. One of the things that Coach Shia has done that I like here, he's got a sub coming in Cook to give him more athleticism and rebounding. And probably a little pressure on the inbounds passes so that the Bulldogs can't just run it up the floor for a shot.
Granberry, who has 2 fouls, comes out for Wyoming. Missed it. Don't think it would count even if he made it from beyond half court. And Wyoming has the 2-point lead. Folks, 12-1 were leading at the half this season. Takes care of the end of half number 1 from here in Laramie. Our score, Wyoming 25 and Fresno State 23. After the break, we'll get you to Ginny Kavnar in our Root Sports studios for our Subaru halftime report. Larry Nance, a dominating first half with 15 points on 7 of 9 shooting. 2-point edge for Wyoming. You're watching Mountain West basketball on Root Sports.
Told you you could do it. I want her to be safe, so I taught her what I could and got her a Subaru.
Piece of cake.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
I'm Beth. And I'm Michelle, and we own the Paper Cottage. It's a stationery and gift store. Anything we purchase for the Paper Cottage goes on our ink card.
So you can manage your business expenses and access them online instantly with the game-changing app from Ink.
We didn't get into business to spend time managing receipts. That's why we have Ink.
We like being in business because we like being creative. We like interacting with people.
So you have time to focus on the things you love. Ink from Chase. So you can.
The Wyoming Education Association is the professional choice for all educators in Wyoming. The WEA empowers educators to shape the future of education in Wyoming and improve student learning and achievement. The WEA enhances professional development and quality professionals in Wyoming. The Wyoming Education Association continues to build and grow because together we succeed.
Root Sports College Hoops. Saturday, it's Clemson at Georgia Tech at 10 a.m. NC State at Virginia Tech at noon. St. Mary's at Santa Clara at 2. Wyoming at CSU at 4. Omaha at Denver at 6. And Central Washington at Western Washington at 8. On Root Sports.
Big shot. Bang! Oh, baby! He's been unbelievable tonight. And in! He'll launch a three. Got it! Feeds it outside. Here's Medlin for three. Assaulted the rim.
Fresno State joined the Mountain West Conference in 2012 and brought more than 90 years of basketball tradition with them. The Bulldogs have made 5 NCAA tournament appearances and have had 20 postseason bids. It's Mountain West basketball on Root Sports.
To the Subaru Halftime Report. We're at the midway point between Fresno State and Wyoming at Arena Auditorium in Laramie, Wyoming. We'll get you back out to our site for the first half highlights and stats in a moment, but first we welcome you inside our Root Sports studio. I'm Jenny Kavnar. Every basketball player who makes it to the Division I level has a story of how they got there. A high school all-star or perhaps Mr. Basketball in their home state. The tale is often common and the path already paved. But for Derek Cook Jr., the path to the University of Wyoming was anything but common. And the big man's journey to Laramie is the focus of tonight's Subaru Spotlight. Who would have ever guessed that Wyoming junior forward Derek Cook Jr. used to be one of the smallest kids on the block?
Yeah, I was a skinny kid, real scrawny. Anybody who knows me from high school would if they see me now, they probably wouldn't even recognize me.
At barely 6 feet tall, Cook was a skinny wide receiver and kicker for his high school team in Washington, D.C. Growing up, he never played and never even really liked the game of basketball.
I almost hated basketball. My older brother, he's the reason I probably hated basketball. He would challenge me and said I couldn't score 1 point on him. So we played, I think, 15 games straight, and I couldn't score 1 point on him.
But all that changed for Cook this summer after graduation. He bulked up and grew 6 inches. Ironically, it was his brother that reshaped his love for the game.
Adams leaves it nicely and a big finish by Cook.
I go with my brother to this little group called Amen. It's like a little basketball group where you take kids off the street and just give them somewhere to play basketball and hang out. So that's what we were doing.
It was at that camp that Cook's size couldn't be overlooked. Discovered by Cloud County Community College of Kansas, overnight, basketball became his ticket to a higher education. After playing just 2 years of organized basketball, Cook was discovered by the University of Wyoming.
This is a guy that never had a basketball vocabulary, never played on a ball club until 3 years ago, but a great work ethic, high level of discipline, character. This is a great student in high school. I mean, all we had to do was take this piece of clay, hopefully, and mold it to our culture.
DC is now 6'9", 220 pounds, and a force for the Cowboys.
I love basketball so much now that I'm thinking about the future of it. And if it's not NBA, just professional somewhere, just because I'm 6'9" and athletic, I'm pretty sure somebody could use my ability.
And without many basketball years under his belt, Cook may just be hitting his stride. Well, don't miss more Cowboys action this Saturday as part of a doubleheader right here on Root Sports. The Cowboys travel to Fort Collins to take on the Rams in the hardwood version of the Border War. Then it's a Summit League showdown as the Denver Pioneers welcome the University of Nebraska-Omaha into Magnus Arena. DU won the first meeting between the two squads back in January. They'll look to complete the season sweep on their home floor. Well, keep it locked to Root Sports for all the best in college hoops. Up next, we'll get you back to Arena Auditorium in Laramie for first half stats and highlights.
Big Sky Ford and Lincoln is one of the only locally independently owned Ford and Lincoln dealers in the region. All of our employees are passionate about providing you with the best customer service possible and making you a customer for life. Most of our salespeople have been with us since the day we opened 17 years ago. We are open 24/7, 365 days a year at BigSkyFord.net and BigSkyLincoln.com. Big Sky Ford and Lincoln, where the sky is the limit with low prices, great service, every time for everyone.
Hot Pocket sandwiches are even tastier with delicious quality ingredients like hickory ham.
That's right, baby.
And our buttery seasoned crust. Then we add hot. Because hot makes everything better. Better taste, better quality.
Accidents happen, but don't give up on your car. Bring it to Maaco. Our locally owned and operated centers offer a nationwide warranty and can get you back on the road and onto your next adventure. So come to the body shop that's easy, affordable, and reliable. Maaco, America's body shop.
There's nothing stronger or more powerful than a dream. Dreams cannot be beaten, broken, or taken. Dreams fight. They persevere. They go on. Dreams will always prevail.
Looking sharp, Len. Who's the lucky lady?
I'm going to the bank to discuss a mortgage.
See, you need a loan, you put on a suit, you go crawling to the bank. This is how I dress to get a mortgage. I just go to LendingTree. I calculate how much home I can afford. I get multiple offers to compare side by side. And the best part is, the banks come crawling to me.
Everything you need to get a better mortgage. Clothing optional. LendingTree. When banks compete, you win.
Okay.
Awkward.
Peace of mind is important when you're running a successful business. So we provide IT services you can rely on. With CenturyLink as your trusted IT partner, you'll experience reliable uptime for the network and services you depend on. Multi-layered security solutions keep your information safe and secure. And responsive dedicated support meets your needs and eases your mind. CenturyLink, your link to what's next.
If you want a German-engineered compact sedan that's fun, fuel-efficient, and affordable, there's only the Volkswagen Jetta, like this one, 36 Highway MPG. Well, except the 42 Highway MPG Jetta TDI Clean Diesel. Oh, right, and the 48 Highway MPG Jetta Hybrid. And if you want all that variety in another compact sedan, there's... nothing.
Hurry in and lease the 2014 Jetta S for $149 a month. Visit VWDealer.com.
Welcome back to the Subaru halftime report here in Laramie. It was a 2-point lead for Wyoming at the intermission, 25-23. 5 ties, 4 lead changes in that first half. Great to have you with us, along with Dave Bowinkle. I'm Mark Neely. Only a 2-point game, Dave, but tempo-wise, certainly flow of the game favoring Wyoming.
Well, we talked about the fact that in their 5 straight wins in conference play, Fresno State has been averaging 78-8 a game. They've got 23 at the half. They're not making even 70 tonight. Great job by Wyoming dictating tempo. Nobody can score except their best player, so he stepped it up.
Let's take a look at our Union Wireless player of the first half. No shocker here that it's Larry Nance, Jr.
Well, he took it to the basket and threw it down. He scored on jump shots as well. Of course, another dunk there. He did everything you could ask of a player, offensive rebounding, including blocking shots. He owned the basketball game at both ends of the floor, and he's the reason that Wyoming has that 2-point lead.
Here's our Subaru first half stats, and neither team shot the ball all that well. Wyoming does not hit a 3, going 0 for 6, and as the 4 blocks go for Wyoming, 2 of those came from, guess who? Larry Nance.
Larry Nance. He does it all and has done it all night long.
So Wyoming again, just a 2-point lead. Tempo, though, favoring the Cowboys. Nance has been the big story without question in the first half, carrying the Cowboys offensively.
I would anticipate seeing the Bulldogs doubling Nance more to get the ball out of his hands, and they have to find some way to get the ball up the floor faster in some easy baskets.
Fresno State's 5-game winning streak on the line here in Laramie. Second half action from the Arena Auditorium. Straight ahead here on Root Sports.
They lived.
They lived.
They lived.
We lived, thanks to our Subaru.
Love. It's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
12 years ago, we were cross-country runners.
before we were killed by a drunk driver.
Maybe you remember us, the Wyoming 8?
We were hoping our deaths might change things.
But since then, over 600 other people in Wyoming have been killed by drunk drivers.
When are you gonna learn? Drunk driving kills. Stop driving drunk.
For never was a story of more woe than this of Juliet and her Romeo.
My heart loved till now, forswear its sight, for I never saw true beauty till this night.
By my head, here come the Capulets.
By my heel, I care nothing.
Thou art a villain!
Villain am I not?
We had a CRV and then we had the Pilot. You got more with the Ford Escape. I'm glad we got the Escape and we switched.
Yay!
I definitely like the Ford better. It's that foot-activated liftgate.
And I don't have to do all this. Yeah, I'm filling up a lot less than I did with my Honda. Awesome.
Now get up to $2,000 cash back or lease an Escape for just $219 a month. Visit your local Ford store today.
Mountain West basketball is on Root Sports. Tune in Saturday at 4. It's the Border War as the Wyoming Cowboys collide with the Colorado State Rams in Moby Arena. It's a Mountain West rivalry. Saturday at 4 on Root Sports College Basketball. Since he arrived, Troy Tulowitzki has been amazing fans with his defensive skills and tenacity on the field. He's represented the Rockies in 3 Midsummer Classics and captured 2 Gold Glove Awards. Root Sports, your home for Rockies baseball.
Back here in Laramie at the Arena Auditorium, 25-23, Wyoming leading Fresno State as we begin the second half. Cesar Guerrero is back out of the locker room and is going to start the second half on the floor for Fresno State. Leading scores for Fresno State, Johnson and Harris each with 7. And Nan standing out for Wyoming with 15 points.
They've done a great job, the Bulldogs have, on Riley Graybo, who is the reigning conference player of the week, yet to score. One of the things I like to say about Guerrero, I give a lot of credit to Rodney, Terry, and the coaching staff, and to the young man. There was an emotional outburst. Something happened on the bench. We don't know what it was. That stuff happens in basketball. That happens between coaches and players. It's a high-intensity game. They got it settled in the locker room, and now see teammates are helping him. That's what this is all about.
Fresno State has possession to begin half number 2. Glad to have you with us. Fresno in the red, Wyoming in the white.
Now what I'd like to do if I'm Fresno now is take a little time on the clock, make the Cowboys have to play some defense.
To turn it over on their first possession, Harris giving it up.
Only the 6th turnover of the game for the Bulldogs. They do a good job averaging just 10 turnovers a ball game.
Here's Nance. Being defended by Davis. Quick pass into the corner for Adams. Cook. Sobey a 3, got it. First 3 for Wyoming. They had missed their first 6.
And Sobey, who shoots just 21% from the 3, an unlikely source to knock the first one down, but Coach Shiatt's happy about it. I love the way the Cowboys share the basketball.
5-point lead for Wyoming, their largest tonight. Turning around, Johnson scores. He has 9 points to lead the Bulldogs.
Johnson's very adept at getting the ball in the paint and then elevating over the defender. He's got good lift in his legs, gets up above, and a clear shot at the basket.
Driving, and the foul committed underneath. Well, time now for the Mako Big Three of the game. Mako, the company that repairs everything from the outside in. Visit Mako.com today. First one of the night for Wyoming.
That makes it the Big Three. If you're Wyoming, yes.
And you missed your first 6, but Sobey drains that. Now he's at the line.
Sobey had a great game a year ago. He was 6 of 6 beyond the arc at Air Force in a win. Interesting configuration on the free throw line. Not a single offensive rebounder. We said that the Cowboys don't worry about the offensive glass. They just want to get back on defense. In this case, you can see it literally. Everybody's already back.
And Sobey helps out with that strategy by knocking down both free throws, and once again, it's Wyoming by 5. Guerrero uses the screen set by Davis.
Well, see, Cook didn't have to come out and show on the screen because Davis isn't a threat to really score on a pick and a pop.
Spinning. The block by Cook.
The block by Cook, and the fans are oohing and on. Hey, keep the ball in play. Tip it to a teammate a la Bill Russell. Don't swat it in the stands. The other team keeps the ball.
5 blocks tonight for Wyoming, and the second for Cook. Nance also has 2. Shot clock to 14. Johnson shooting over Cook. It rolls out. And rebound fought for by Nance.
It didn't go in, but Johnson is very smart about using the backboard on those bankers inside.
Going for the steal. Davis could have gotten a foul. It's kept alive by Nance for Wyoming.
Well, they almost got the steal because it was a very lazy, soft pass by Adams. You don't want to make passes that are parallel to the baseline, because if those are intercepted, those are those pick sixes.
Graybo off the right side. Skying for the board, Marvell Harris.
I talked to Rodney Terry before the season. Marvell Harris has really ramped up his game from year ago. Said, hey, we knew he had it in him. He had a good freshman year. We knew he would step up this year.
He averaged 7 points last year as a freshman, averaging 15 points this year as a sophomore, and he has 9 tonight. And now with the defense, Watson into the backcourt. Cook trying to keep it alive, dives into the first row of seats, and Wyoming does keep possession, and then driving into a crowd, Adams, who's fouled. Well, Derek Cook is flying out of here.
Another one of those passes parallel to the baseline. You can get out and contest those and get a deflection. Thank goodness Cook was there with a hustle play.
And thank goodness that was about 10 feet to our left, or it would have been right in our lap. That's a big man that would come flying in here. Derek Cook at 6'9".
Again, another player that doesn't show up in the box score, but helps you win games.
Adams, a 73% foul shooter.
So Coach Hyatt takes everybody off the lane line. No offensive rebounders. We're going to make sure we're back, set with our defense, and give our players a breather. They don't have to run the floor.
Wyoming now 9 of 11 from the line. Guerrero.
Look to get the ball to Watson. Graybo's caught on him.
Guerrero fouled by Derek Cook Jr. He had a 6'9" guy guarding a 6'1" guy.
Yeah, the switch out front. Guerrero needed to pull that back and find his teammate Watson, who was guarded by the much smaller Graybo. And this Kurt Walker, the official, issuing a warning to Rodney Terry on the sideline and telling him that he's had enough.
Rodney saying, hey, I'm where I need to be. That kicks off the foot of Harris. Graybo lays it in. From 14, Guerrero. 4 points for Cesar Guerrero. Sobey stopped.
See, Davis and Watson, who's ever on Cook, can stay right in the paint and play a one-man zone because Cook's no threat out there.
This is a 2. That's good for Nathan Sobey. Just like that, Sobey has 11 points.
Only averages 7. Come alive here. You know, stepping up for Graybo from those guys. And there we got another block, but keep it in bounds. Don't knock it out of bounds.
Timeout. 15:55 to play second half. The outside shooting starting to come alive for Wyoming. They're up 7.
Punch your ticket to see the best college basketball teams in the West battle it out in the 2014 Reese's Mountain West Men's and Women's Basketball Championships, March 10th through 15th at the Thomas & Mack Center in Las Vegas. This year's tournament is bigger and better than ever before, with all 22 teams in action. Sellout crowds are expected, so punch your ticket today at your team's athletic ticket office, or get more information at themw.com. Don't miss a Mountain West party, Vegas style.
Root Sports College Hoops. Saturday, it's Clemson at Georgia Tech at 10 a.m. NC State at Virginia Tech at noon. St. Mary's at Santa Clara at 2. Wyoming at CSU at 4. Omaha at Denver at 6. And Central Washington at Western Washington at 8. On Root Sports.
Jefferson, big shot. Bang! Oh, baby! He's been unbelievable tonight. It's up and in! He'll launch a 3. Got it! Beats it outside. Here's Medlin for 3. Assaulting the rim.
The Dome of Doom, also known as Arena Auditorium, is the home of Wyoming basketball. The Brown and Gold have won 74% of their games there, helping the Cowboys to 25 postseason appearances. It's Mountain West basketball on Root Sports.
Looking for one more. Got him!
7-point lead for Wyoming is their largest of the night. We're still early in the second half from Laramie, and you look at the Wyoming defense and their philosophy, and I guess in many ways, Dave, it's, hey, let's not overexpose ourselves in areas where we may have some deficiencies.
No question. They don't go to the offensive glass. They're the worst offensive rebounding team in America. Why? They get everybody back to take the fast breakaway, and on 14 games this year, the opposing team has not got a fast break basket. Don't gamble. They don't get a lot of steals, therefore they're not out of position defensively, and guard without fouling. Don't put the opposing team on the line where they can score without being guarded. They only give up 11 made free throws of the ball game. A great defensive philosophy that fits their personnel.
Derek Cook Jr. with 4 blocks tonight, 7 blocks as a team for Wyoming. Fresno State, Harris. Screen set by Davis, and this time he does roll, but there was Cook again, but he committed the foul.
Was that Cook or Patrick Waugh? I mean, he came out of retirement to take care of guarding the net.
He didn't get cheated on that foul.
No, he slapped down. See, in the other ones, he's extended the arm. Anytime the official sees the arm coming down, he's going to blow the whistle.
Davis, who's a 55% foul shooter, swishes the first. 4 points for Davis, who on the other side, Fresno State's leading shot blocker is Davis with 44, but as you saw a moment ago, no blocked shots yet for the Fresno State defense.
And a different press that time. They extended, looked to trap in the corners. Good job by the Cowboys of attacking.
Adams the back cut. Nance fouled by Davis, who helps up Nance.
So we said Davis, the great shot blocker, but you got to block with the arm, the hand, not with the body. And he got him with the body as well. And you know what? I like what Davis did. He reached down and picked the guy up. You don't have to stand over him and gloat. You know what? You can be physical and still help the other guy up. That's not a sign of weakness.
And Davis with his 3rd foul, first Fresno State player to 3 fouls. Watson, Harris, Giddings all have 2 fouls for Fresno State. And here comes Giddings back in for Davis. No real big foul issues on the Wyoming side. You do have Cook with 2, Granberry with 2. Couple from the line for Nance, who has 17 points. Back to a 7-point lead for Wyoming, equaling their largest. Guerrero drives and couldn't finish.
Nice job by Guerrero of getting the ball up on the glass quickly. Just had a little too much English on the ball and it spun off the rim.
Five minutes gone in this first half. Wyoming led by 2 at the break, leading it by 7 with the ball in the hands of Nance, who's been their best scorer. Stumbling, falling, and fouled by Guerrero, and holding a knee.
Now see how patient Wyoming was in that possession. Our stat man, Pat, came up with this one. Wyoming, 23 seconds of possession. Fresno, 17, which speaks to the difference in pace that the two teams want to play.
Well, watch falling. Maybe he was already starting. You could tell he was reacting to what happened to the knee before he started falling backwards. Did he perhaps bang knees? Hopefully that's all it is, but right now Nance isn't getting up. He came down kind of funny on that right leg.
Well, and Lance Schumann, the trainer's out there. Johnny on the spot, trying to make sure that Larry Nance Jr. is going to be all right. Now, this works as a timeout, by the way, because right away, as you can see, Coach Terry's got his team huddled, and on the other side, you've got Jeremy Chiat and the other assistant coaches talking with the players for Wyoming.
Right now, Wyoming, everybody in the arena, the Pokes fans are holding their breath. I mean, this is not only a pivotal moment in this game to see if Nance is going to be able to continue, but you're looking long term.